A new paper in Personality and Individual Differences looks at how psychopathy relates to people's openness to casual sex. The researchers conducted a meta-analysis, which means they pooled together results from many past studies to look for consistent patterns. The focus here is on what's called sociosexual orientation. This is the degree to which someone is willing to engage in sex outside of a committed relationship. At one end of the spectrum are restricted individuals who prefer sex only within emotionally close, long-term partnerships. At the other end are unrestricted individuals who are more comfortable with casual encounters and don't require emotional closeness or commitment. Past research has shown that sociosexual orientation is influenced by personality, culture, and even evolutionary factors. For example, people who are more open and extroverted tend to have more unrestricted attitudes towards sex. Restricted individuals are more likely to prioritize long-term bonding and parenting, while unrestricted individuals may lean towards short-term mating strategies. In this meta-analysis, Caitlin White and her colleagues wanted to see how psychopathy fits into the picture. Psychopathy is a personality trait characterized by low empathy, manipulativeness, and impulsivity. The researchers wondered whether people with higher levels of psychopathic traits would also be more likely to adopt an unrestricted sociosexual orientation. They started with over 1,000 articles from major psychology databases. After narrowing the pool to studies that met strict criteria, they ended up with 37 research papers. Together, these papers included nearly 15,500 participants across 48 separate samples. The findings were clear. In 41 of the 48 samples, higher psychopathy scores were significantly linked to a more unrestricted sociosexual orientation. On average, this was a medium-sized effect, which is considered fairly strong for personality research. In plain terms, people with stronger psychopathic traits were more likely to say they were open to casual sex, one-night stands, or relationships without emotional closeness. The researchers also checked whether this pattern looked different for men and women. Surprisingly, it did not. Both sexes showed a similar link between psychopathy and sociosexuality. However, the strength of the effect did vary depending on how psychopathy was measured. Studies using the Dirty Dozen questionnaire showed a weaker connection, while those using the self-report psychopathy scale found the link was more than twice as strong. The authors conclude that the evidence is solid. Individuals with higher psychopathy scores are more inclined toward short-term mating opportunities. Still, they caution that their analysis only included studies published in English, which may limit how much the findings apply across cultures.